98, 99, 100. Or 3, 4, 5. Pathetic old man hair. Person with hairs that go the same direction. Isn't that how y'all kids these days do it? You got the hairs going the same direction. Anyways, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another pause button pretend edit video. I am in between the little hour wait in between the two fucking buses that I have to meet down the road in the mornings. I didn't sleep very well last night. I was a little busy making love to my wife. Oh yeah, that's right. So worth it. Anyways, I just got done responding to apparently my new Google employee flat earth trolls. So that's apparently what Google employees spend their fucking free time doing, is harassing individuals because they have no fucking customer service. Their employees just fucking abuse their fucking customers. Between the advertisers and the contributors, oh man, they just don't give a fuck. It's alright, like I said, I'm gonna severely fuck those people up one day. One way or the other. Or the other. Unfortunately, I'm only really the right man for 2 out of 3 of those jobs. And technically only one of them is, well, yeah, technically only one of them is legal. Technically one of them is just crazy talk. From the guy whose wife's ex-husband burned alive. You know what it takes? I mean, oh, he's not an isolated incident. You know what it takes? Same thing it took me for 2 days ago. When I said, I feel like making a lot of shit happen. Or something big happen. Oh, something big happened. Something so big, in fact, my broadcast last night was interrupted because I filled out the tags. It seems the more tags, the better, the more tags I write and the better tags, some combination of the two, the more likely it is for my computer to just freeze and me to be unable to broadcast. Isn't that fascinating? Now, I just paused it. Did my head move? Like Mac Headroom? Only like silent and only for a second? That's not like Max Headroom at all. But my head twitched. Maybe. I don't know. Did it? I can just make it twitch. Don't even need the pause button. See, I'm just talented like that. Anyways, can't really make funny faces using my eye gesture things when you can't see my eyes because it's too fucking dim in here. But yeah. So, moving on. No sympathy for Amorosa, huh? Amorosa? Is it Amorosa or it's Amorosa? Excuse me. I'm from New Orleans. I say Amorosa. How you doing, Amorosa? Uh, y'all have ambulances? We have ambulances. Oh, fuck you. Alarm clock. Isn't that how you turn off alarms? You say fuck you? I'm surprised there's not an alarm clock that's like rigged up to work that way. Just voice activated. Fuck you! Alarm snoozing. So yeah, poor Amorosa. I feel sorry for this bitch. I'm like, man, Jen Psaki. Apparently, all this time I've struggled to figure out how to understand how to pronounce the word Psaki. Psaki. I guess that P, just the P silent. It's Psaki. Okay, but Jen, I used to like what is it like Pskay? Jen Pskay. Psaki. Psaki. Kabuka dance. Um, but the State Department girl, the red hair girl, we had the redhead and the blonde. Okay, which those were luxurious times. Um, they were. We had Marie Harf and Jen, and they were not just like you know wonderful, just fucking smart, fun to watch kind of like people, you know. Like just as far as like people on TV go, I don't like watching dumbasses. I don't know about you, but I like to find people who have personality and wisdom. You know, your fucking training and your education, you're just another manufactured motherfucker if that's all you've accomplished. But there's some people that are chock full of personality and expertise, and you don't find them on Fox News. What you find on Fox News is a bunch of fucking professional liars. And really, honestly, most of them aren't even that good at it. Just their fucking audience is so naive. Like people who believe like all of the lunar missions were real. Now, I cannot sit here and say that I've seen all of the given data because for all I know, there might be some shit that I haven't seen. But I know I've seen enough of the data to know that some of the lunar missions must be fake. And, for anybody to giggle at that, just, you're over there and you can laugh because you're avoiding the rules of society. See, normally, little trolls, when somebody mocks someone who can kick the living shit out of them, um, they get the living shit kicked out of them. But, the professional trolls that Google pays to lally around and fuck off and destroy the world with harassment of free thinking people. What a lovely time we live in. I was after the last time I went to jail, I got woken up by that big fat motherfucker and still wound up winning that fight after having my skull basically crushed. Spiritual power. Not to mention being relatively large and incredibly fast. Fairly well trained. I'm not going to bullshit about that. Not extremely well trained in any way. Not focused in any discipline. Not in this life, that's for sure. But I found myself in the ghetto at the age of 9. And I was either fighting 3 people or a big motherfucker every time. I don't even think I've ever fought 2 people. I fought 3 people 3 times. I fought entire crowds of people twice. Well, no, 3 times. But really, one was kind of just like a small gang and a crowd of people. That was in Mardi Gras. Didn't really last very long. Wasn't even about anything. I don't even understand why it happened. I think they mistook me for somebody else. There were some skinheads nearby. In fact, I think that was Vincent and all that. Damn, something tells me Vincent ain't around no more. Vincent wound up getting out of being a skinhead. I think he later told me that he was out there. And I think somebody had said his name at the time. And there was this other guy, I can't remember his name. But yeah, sitting outside the fucking Circle K, what's it called? Bonneville and West Esplanade. 1998, 97 maybe. I forgot all about that. Anyways, memories like the corners of your mind. See, there used to be like, what do you call them? Manners. That came from parents who were worth a fuck, or at least that bothered. You know. See, you little internet trolls. It's not you. Well, it's you. But it's not your fault that you're worthless. Your parents are worthless too, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways. So, Google, I want you to know something. Because you don't seem to be figuring it out. Little Googlies, little YouTubies, seminiferous tubulies. You know how Donald Trump keeps incriminating himself? Lying to investigators and that kind of thing. Lying to the general public, all his little people, all his little people, his little peons. His little peons. Well, ones he. Never mind. Um, you know how they keep incriminating themselves? You know how they keep on saying things in public and to investigators and to Congress that might not be true? Except for Jeff Sessions, he does not recall. I can't say I did not have contact. No, he did lie. He fucking lied his ass off, didn't he? I did not have contact with any Russians. I had to play back the audio clip in my head. These Google executives are all out there giving lip service to the Republicans, talking about the resistance being a bunch of trolls. First of all, I think I'm going to go ahead and let your shareholders know. Second of all, oh yeah, and I have people to do that through. I don't even have to do anything. I'm just going to go ahead and call in a favor there. I don't know if you noticed, Facebook's tanking. You're not all powerful, Google. You don't know what all powerful looks like. But you see, the thing is, they're letting you incriminate yourselves. Your executives are going in there thinking you've got some kind of backdoor arrangement so you can fuck the American people up the ass. Well, pretty soon the shoe's going to be on the other cheek. You can just ask Bubba what he means by that when you get there. Yep. Google executives are lying to Congress. Okay. And oh, I just thought of someone else I'm going to call. Someone you may have been recently familiar with. Someone who might be watching right now. If you are, how are you doing, sir? I appreciate your words yesterday regarding abusers of women. Senator Kennedy of Louisiana, Republican, the guy who believes in the power of love, but he believes you should have a handgun just in case. Oh, he made me proud. Again. In fact, I'm like, Louisiana is now like one of the few places that can be proud of its politicians. we got we got Edwards. We got a Democrat veteran. Man. We got Mitch, possibly future president Mitch Landrieu. down in New Orleans, making me want to move back. It's funny to me that fucking Patricia Steer's Canadian ass and Mark Sargent, these fucking people aren't Americans. You realize that? None of them are. Not Mouth Powerland. I talked to him personally. I know he's from fucking Canada. He's trying to get me to help him with his fucking citizenship and shit. Okay, yeah. Oh, if only I could have been recording that on some kind of speakerphone for like posterity. Those were some fascinating conversations. When it all boils down to it, I hope one day I get recognized for just how good of an investigative journalist I've been. I mean, let's face it, I don't break character much, do I? My whole life, I wanted to be in the CIA, or maybe undercover in the DEA, ATF, something like that. I always wanted to do some kind of spy versus spy shit. I always wanted to be the one to have to walk quieter or be killed. I can walk pretty fucking quietly. But ever since I realized just how clueless so many levels of our society have gotten, I'm kind of glad I'm a cripple. It's possible that being inside of the government would be of some assistance, right? Makes sense. Whatever. Like, just how baseless all these conspiracy theories are. You know, people should really take someone like Tricia Steer and understand how so many people like her exist, addressing all kinds of different subsects of theory culture, if you know what I mean. Now, I don't know if you can listen to me for a while and then just get how I know Patricia Steer has never even fucking probably been to New Orleans. Okay. She couldn't so much as name a goddamn exit. Okay. Okay. I really should go ahead and share my Facebook communications with her. They're still in Messenger. Oh yeah, all my emails from Patricia Steer. Even the ones where she got all butthurt about the Russia thing. Oh, took it way too personally. And it's funny, of all the people, and man, I talked to just about every major flat earther there is. Fucking Eric Dubay. Yeah, I talked to him too. I talked to all these fucking people. And I told them, this is about Russia. People need to stop focusing on NASA. Because I don't know if you've noticed, they haven't launched shit for almost 10 years now. NASA. Like, there's no shuttle program anymore. Private companies and corporations and the Air Force and the Navy, they launch rockets. NASA doesn't do shit anymore. You know what NASA does? It sends astronauts to Russia so that they can go up to the fucking International Space Station in a Soyuz capsule. Meanwhile, the entirety of the Flat Earth movement, minus me, which is another one of the many reasons why I don't appreciate being ascribed as being a Flat Earth channel or anything like that. I don't claim to know what to believe. I'm aware of the possibilities, and I'm aware of the bullshit. But you had a situation where all these other people, I set myself into this as an investigative journalist, as an intelligence experiment. Okay, I wanted to see, of all these people talking about how the Illuminati and Freemasons and all this bullshit are trying to make people think the Earth is a globe, and they're all in cahoots, right? As opposed to just being a bunch of morons. But none of them mention the EU, let alone Russia, as being the primary instigators of the space race. It's just that simple. We have barely kept up for the past 100 years. We've barely kept up. Yet all these channels were trying to blame America. So I called every single one of them on it. I messaged people one by one. And not one of them has messaged me since Donald Trump took over. Not one of them has remembered, oh yeah, well, what about that guy that said it was Russia? Said that Russia was planning something, that Russia was using us. You mean to tell me that nobody can remember? Fact is, I didn't email these people. I didn't message these people with high hopes. I messaged them much for the same reason that I created this channel. To confirm my suspicions. Now, getting back to a previous point that I've kind of been beating around the bush back to, people think that our government is this powerful thing that's capable of these conspiracies. Has it been demonstrated to you that they're not yet? I mean, they're borderline incompetent and hanging on by a thread through fucking basically sheer luck. And since the Holy Spirit descended from heaven in 1980-ish, there hasn't been much guidance given to this country. And since the 80s, through the 80s, and since the 80s, we have made, as a nation, one geostrategic blunder after another. We were riding high on a cloud of luck and faith after many mistakes, especially Vietnam. But during the 80s, people still prayed for the guidance of the country, not for their political party. And that hasn't been that way since. And since that guiding light, the soap opera, no. Since that light of guidance dimmed in this country, we've been led around by our noses into war after war by forces we don't understand. This country, and I guess you have to watch this channel to understand exactly why and how all this has happened. But this country, our intelligence agencies, they're just not old enough to really know what's going on in the world. There are very old governments and very old, just mafia families that have kept much more extensive records of history than our country as a whole. And thus, they understand how things work and can strategize and formulate outcomes much better than we can. Okay? We got very good at what we did in World War II. We're not the most powerful nation on earth. We need to stop fucking deluding ourselves. We're not. Russia proved that. Okay? And now we're at a situation where they have perfectly timed their combat modernization with a lull in our hardware capabilities. Okay? They're not going to build the fucking fancy jets that we have. But they have a hell of a lot more anti-aircraft rockets than we do. And they've got a hell of a lot more tanks and APCs than we do. And they're all in theater. Many of them are quite experienced by now. And a lot of those guys are just dying to fucking get the green flag to run right over Europe. And they've caught us in a lull where our budget got ballooned from Iraq and Afghanistan, and we lost a lot of hardware out there. We left a lot of hardware there. And we haven't had significant infantry modernization. For how long? Really, for 20 years. Russia's in full tilt, take over the world mode. And we're shutting down our fucking government, which, by the way, thanks to another guy that I have been saying has been compromised by Russia for quite some time. Let's see. Let's list the people in Congress. The two primary fucking candidates in Congress that I said were compromised by Russia fucking 3 years ago. Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. Ted Cruz shut down the fucking government. We did a video on it back when it happened. And I was like, oh look, there's the fucking, greaseball little lizard. Not the lizard with the ladder. And now the other one. The other friend of RT managed to shut down our government. What's fucked up is I agree with most of what he said. Because, oh yeah, the hypocrisy is staggering. The fact of the matter is, that little tax bill was, how do I say this? Written and passed on the complete 100% presumption that the economy wouldn't do what it did this past week. Damn near all of the Trump era gains, all of the stock market up thing, it's all gone. We're back down in the low 23s, back where we started when Obama left in November 2017. Isn't that special? I think that's special. I think it's fascinating. Yet this government, the one that Rand Paul can shut down by, staying up late, that's the one that people are on here saying is from everything to covering up the existence of aliens to, come on, think of some of the silly shit you people believe. And you want to make fun of me for what? You think our government's hiding the existence of extraterrestrials. It's nonsense. It is much more likely that the Earth is flat. Again, I have a scientific mind. I don't believe the Earth is flat. It kind of fucking seems to me that way. Yeah, I see all the credible evidence pointing one way, and that's the same way that basic observation points. And then I see a massive effort by a bunch of morons to pretend to have an advanced space program because they were in fear for their lives during the Cold War. That's all historically referenced. That's all coherent. That all makes sense in the context of history. Where the fuck the aliens come in? And why haven't they killed Donald Trump? Is he one of them? Is that the thing? Is Donald Trump supposed to be an alien? I wonder how many people per day watch the TV, see things like Trump sharing classified information with Russia over and over again. I wonder how many people just say, Oh my god, somebody please kill this motherfucker. Where the fuck is the CIA when you... Oh look. Turns out the CIA doesn't assassinate people. You were all being led down anti-government rabbit holes, dug with fucking liars' shovels. You think the CIA killed Kennedy? It was the Russians. It was the mafia. Russians, mafia. Mafia, Russians. Trump, mafia, Russians. Trump, Russians, mafia. Russians, mafia, Trump. Mafia, Russians, Trump. And I actually I have a video, I think. Somebody remind me if I ever actually made that specific video, but I have a slideshow ready, lays out the case for exactly how you can know for a fact that all the conspiracies you've heard are bullshit. It's very obvious that the Russians were behind it. And on top of that, today you have, oh, let's face it, no one could possibly be pissing off American corporations and appeasing international entities and screwing us over more, all the while directly insulting the CIA and the FBI and people like that. And they're literally just enriching themselves. And this stock market bubble is just created on naive people being like, oh, we got a Republican, make America great again. We're going to get better tax breaks. That's all that is. A fake fucking stock bubble. And that's recently burst. It's funny, the first little thing was 666, right? And this yesterday was 4.2. I wonder how many people are sitting there, man, I wish somebody would just take this motherfucker. Thinking like this paranoid, silly shit that they've been fed by everything from just opinions about news given by fucking otherwise competent news anchors get slipped in here and there. Um, that make people paranoid of the fucking CIA, make people paranoid of the United States government. There is so much fake news that we just teach each other as history. Huh. There's so much fake news that has just become history. It's not even fucking debated anymore. But I think it's pretty, you know, it should go without saying. Yet, because of demonic blindness, because there is a spiritual aspect to this deception, it is actually very difficult for most human brains to come up with a thought that is being pushed back through kinetic waves. Okay? Shit, I think it just got pushed out of my head. Oh, I got that. Spiritual power. Still in a human body, though, aren't I? Like, it should just go without saying. And I'm going to leave it here. That if the CIA hasn't taken out Trump yet, they didn't fucking kill Kennedy.